Do you think when someone says, I love that for you, is that a fuck you, or is that, do you think most people are serious when they say that?
Okay, so like I was playing tennis.
Yeah.
And I put it on my Instagram thing, and my friend goes, I love this for you.
I love this for you.
And I'm like, oh, because you think I'm out of shape? Like, what's going on, dude?
It's funny how, like, it's just people can really earnestly give you a compliment, and you can immediately be like, well, what are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say to me? What do actually... So
I hate that. I want to stop doing that forever.
Then stop doing it.
I just rather take the compliment, even if they're sincere.
You're right.
Like, even if they're insincere, I want to just take it because it's better for me.
You just want us to be, thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome that you think that.
I have to be very careful with compliments because I remember this. I was 18 years old. I was in college, and this girl, she kept on saying, like, wow, I wish I was as attractive as my other roommate. I'm just, like, so ugly. And as someone that wanted to give her a compliment, I looked at her and I go, Claudette, you're not that ugly.
Oh, no.
And then she goes, oh, so that ugly. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. Well, what was the context of the conversation?
The context, I think she was like fishing for a compliment.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad in that moment. So now what I do is I don't say anything unless I genuinely mean to give you that compliment.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if I'm in a group and I'm like, oh my God, I really love your jacket. You're so beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you'll have someone right next to them and go, what about me?
Yeah.
And then,
I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be a what about me things or just like, I just, if anyone says anything to you, you could just turn it into something else. It's like, it's so annoying.
Yeah, don't be the what about me?
What about me?
Don't fish for anything.
Yeah.
If no one's giving you anything, maybe you just suck, and maybe you have to do something to your body, or
No,
just
but
like
that's-
take it for what you take.
But that's the point. It probably doesn't mean you just suck. It just means that they're happening to acknowledge something about something else. It has nothing to do with you.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
fair.
mostly, I mean, think about it. If
It's
you
not
give someone a compliment,
right.
If you're with friends and you give one person a compliment, are you ever in your head thinking, this compliment, as it is a compliment for this person, is a direct insult to everyone around them? Do you ever think that?
Like, what do you mean by that? Explain.
Like, if we're hanging out,
Yeah.
and you know, a couple of our friends are hanging out too, and I go, Jonathan,
Yeah.
you're a really nice person.
Oh, thanks, dude.
I'm not also in my head being like, yeah, and all you fucking assholes.
You're not being manipulative.
The rest of you guys are fucking dickheads. No, I'm just.
So basically, what you're saying is, if someone compliments other individuals and not you, it's not.
They just haven't complimented you yet. They're focused on the person that they're talking to. They're not talking to you.
See, that's
it's
also,
as simple as that.
Dude, that's also, but it's so dangerous. When I was a little kid, and my brother, who's a very attractive individual, my cousins would always compliment how good looking he is.
Yeah.
And the attention that he brought so much insecurity to me because, you know, no one would ever compliment me.
Yeah, but that.
And also it's because they were racist because I was like the dark Filipino.
Oh, okay.
And he was the light Filipino. But see, like, you have to be.
No, you have to definitely be careful. I think especially with sibling dynamics.
Yes.
Like when I went to a summer camp.
Yes.
I went to a sleepaway camp with my brother. My brother went there a couple years before me.
Okay.
And my brother's 5 years older than me. He started going maybe when he was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like his safe space. Like this was his place. No one else. Like I wasn't going there for a couple years when he started.
Yeah.
And and he had trouble making friends. I think like at home, but at camp he really thrived. And then he started to thrive like. Back
everywhere
at home,
else,
everywhere else,
because
of the confidence. But it started in camp. But then I started going to the camp,
Right.
and all of his like friends. I was like a little shrimp, like little baby fourth
Would love
grader.
you or make fun
They
of you?
loved me. They thought I was so cute, and I kind of overshadowed for a year maybe my brother's experience, and that kind of created a little bit of a rivalry between us. And I was just like, dude, I love you. What do you want me to say? Your friends think I'm cute. I'm in fourth grade.
I mean, that's what my brother said too. He's like, I can't help myself. This is either just my genetics.
Yeah, it's just like this has nothing to do with you and me. What they think.
Yeah, what they think is what they think.
Is what they think.
It's not a
It's not a reflection of how I feel about you or how I feel about myself.
Maybe because, so that's also hard too because I have a bunch of siblings, and often my brothers will go, "Hey, Jonathan, because of who you are, you're very, talkative, charismatic,
Yeah,
a little bit obnoxious, egotistical," which makes sense because we have a podcast for crying out loud.
I mean, yeah, I think if you have a podcast, you have
Yeah.
some narcissistic tendencies. Oh no.
COVID.
Oh no.
No. I got the booster last week, by the way.
Oh, congrats.
And, I want to let you know that I'm anti-vax. But before we get there,
okay. I don't know if you're anti-vax. Hey, if you got the booster, I don't give a shit if you're anti-vax or not.
Yes. Well, hello. What? Wait.
I wanted you to keep going, but let's introduce the podcast.
Well, no, the whole sibling thing is now they warned me, and I'm like, okay, I understand. And so now there's like boundaries when it comes to like talking to friends. Like, where can I go, right?
Right.
Anyway, well, hello. I'm anti-vax. Well, hello, and hi, what's up, crew?
What's up, crew?
My name is Jonathan Garano.
I'm Noah Finley.
And welcome to the Bottle Club, where we're about to talk about some things. Now, before we get to the anti-vax thing.
No, we have to get to that first.
Okay, you want to get to that first?
Yes, otherwise someone's going to cut this up, use it as a soundbite against you and me, and then you get canceled and I'm canceled by proxy.
With our 1,500 listeners, the Bottle Club is anti-vax.
No, it's not.
And then suddenly we go 1,500 to like 50,000
listeners.
Yeah,
we are not anti-vax. We're not. Make sure you get that. We're not anti-vax. Wait, explain to me though. Yeah, I'll have this argument. Why are you anti-vax?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay. Here we go. Here's the thing. So
I have I've gotten COVID 3 times.
Okay.
Twice in 2020.
Yes.
Once in 2022.
Okay, but 2 times before the vaccines came out, right?
Oh, sorry. Twice in 2022, both before the vaccine.
Okay.
Then I got the vaccine, and then I got Omicron. And as we've learned from Omicron,
the vaccine came out in 2021.
21. So I got COVID twice in 2020.
Got it. That's right.
I got it in February in 2020.
Got it. And then you got it in
August of 2020.
And then you got it
in
Omicron
after in December.
Great.
Right after my vaccines.
Okay.
Now, as we've learned, the vaccine is really good against like
mitigating
Alpha and Delta.
Yeah.
And then with Omicron, it's like a little less.
Yeah, it mitigates it.
But that's where you get the booster to like increase that. Now, so I get Omicron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into it, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
So now 4 weeks later, I can get the booster.
Is that the rule?
Yeah, after you get COVID, like you should not get the booster until like maybe 4 weeks later.
Okay. I heard 60 days. You're going to grow a tail.
I'm going to grow a tail.
Whatever.
I'm going to become a frog, yo.
You're going to become a frog.
Anyway, so this is why I'm anti-vax. I go to CVS. I hate needles.
Yeah.
They hurt.
Yeah.
They're scary.
Yeah.
Here's a video clip of me getting it. Okay. I hate shots. I hate shots.
No real life. No.
Hold on. Okay. No, I'm going to hold the phone. I'm going to hold the phone. We're going to do this. I'm so sorry.
Just relax, okay? Don't move.
See how scared I was, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls?
That's why you're anti-vax?
That's one reason.
I love that take. And nobody's talking about that take. They're like, dude, I just don't like needles.
It hurts.
You're like, can I take a pill?
You don't understand. It hurts. It
Doesn't
hurts so
hurt.
much. Yes, it does.
For 1 fucking second.
You don't understand, okay? You don't know what's going on. You don't see it. They always go look away. And then if you look also, you see like this little fucking metal thing poking you.
Yeah. I like looking at it.
Oh, I don't like looking at it. So that's number one.
Okay, that's why.
Well, you like looking at the needles going in?
Yeah, I like to see science at work.
You should just get into heroin. You'll be getting to give yourself. No. It's making a comeback, by the way.
I know, and I have. Life is too fun, and I want to achieve too much to be asleep all day on heroin.
Okay, so
yeah,
so I get the thing,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel good. I find it great. It's 11 a.m. I'm gonna have a great day. I have some meetings. We have the podcast. Life is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And then around 8 p.m., I'm feeling a little dizzy.
Okay.
A little vertigo.
Yeah.
And you know what I say to myself? I go, I am a man. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to go to the gym. So I go to the gym, and as I'm pushing myself, I'm like, wait a minute, I can't really use my left hand to do push-ups, to do anything. And I literally just sit there in sweat, almost collapse, and I go, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I have this major like pain and like all over my body.
Yeah.
I know it's the booster. I've had a flu shot before. This is the exact feeling that I've received. And as I begin to drive home, taking small little breaks, I say to myself, you know what? I wish I never got this. I already have Omicron. What am I doing? Why do I feel like shit? So I text my entire family in the chain. I'm voting red. I'm anti-vax now. Yeah. Every time someone says, should I get the booster? I go, no. I've already had the vaccines. You're good. Needles hurt. Don't let your body feel as bad as mine at this moment. Take a couple Advils. Can't do any work. I have a nice sleep of 8 hours. I wake up.
You're fine.
And now I feel super protected.
So are you still anti-vax?
Because needles hurt, Noah.
This feels like it feels like you're a little bitch.
I know I am.
You're a little bitch. You're like, I'm not really anti-vax. I'm just anti-needles in my arm. Yeah, so is everybody. Nobody's doing it because they like that. They're doing it because they just want to feel a little bit of peace of mind in not catching COVID and spreading it.
Okay.
But it's also, it's just
I'm anti-needle. I'm anti-needle, not anti-vax.
You're not anti-vax. You're anti-needle. And I get that. Most people are anti-needle. I don't know. People are like, I have a real passion for sticking needles in my arms.
I don't like anything
Actually,
in my
a lot of
body.
people say that probably.
What do they say?
They have a passion for sticking needles in their arms.
Unless unless like if you like piercings and stuff, there's people that like love
And heroin addicts.
Exactly.
And steroid users.
Maybe that's why I'm not a drug addict or a heroin addict. I don't know.
That's
like
the thing
it's
about
just like,
heroin. I'm like, I'm gonna stick a needle in my arm.
like that's the
I'm
worst.
not a doctor.
No, I'm not a doctor.
You feels like you should have to be a doctor to do heroin.
Exactly. I think we should open facilities. We should make a business. It's called the Bottle Club Heroin Section. Okay, so not only do we have a course, thebottleclub.com/course,
how to make
millions of dollars,
Yeah.
billions of dollars, but we should also have a facility where we hire a bunch of doctors to administer with nurses.
Things like that kind of exist.
They do, but it's the opioid crisis.
What's that called? Like a clinic. What's that word?
No, but
something clinic. It's to help people wean people. It's to help wean people off.
Okay, so we're not here to wane them off.
We're here to
get them
hooked.
addicted.
Okay,
hooked on heroin.
I'm not sure if I support this or not, but I will continue to listen.
We get canceled because
Jonathan,
we're anti-vax, and then we're also pushing to get for people to.
We're not anti-vax.
Okay, sorry.
We are not anti-vax. We are not anti-vax. You are anti-needle. I am pro-needle and pro-vax. Okay? You're anti-needle.
I'm anti-needle.
Okay?
I'm anti-needle. Okay.
That's what's happening here.
All right.
Don't lump me in with your bitch ass anti-needle shit.
I won't.
You need to fill up a needle with, saline solution and shove it to your arm day after day. Do you want to know why I'm pro-needle? Because I had allergies growing up.
You did?
And once a week, my mom would take me to the allergist, and he would give me an allergy shot. And now I'm not scared of needles.
Okay.
I used to have a bit where, I would be a great candidate for heroin, and it's a terrible bit.
It's so funny because you're so progressive, and my take, I know
your
subtly,
take isn't even
subtly,
right.
Pisses you off just a little bit, which is great.
It pisses me off, but it's also delightful because it's just not anti-vax. Everything you're saying, you literally and I went home, I didn't feel good. That was kind of annoying. Yeah, it's annoying. And then, I woke up, I didn't feel great, but then I was fine, and now I feel good.
Yeah, I feel great.
But fucks vaccines.
Because of the needles.
Because of fucking needles.
So I have something really cool to show you.
Yeah.
So a user, Caitlin Photography on Instagram.
What's a user?
Sorry.
A listener?
A crew member.
A crewer. Yeah.
This crew, someone that listens to the podcast, part of the crew, Caitlin Photography. All the links will be in the description.
Yeah.
She sent a video DM for us to look at.
Oh, cool.
And I think it'll be really cool for us to. It's about a relationship. It's about a date.
Let's do it.
That she had. So here we go. If you want to see her face, everybody, you can. You just have to go to the YouTube channel.
Oh, this is so cool.
Oh, by the way, if you're still here, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. I see your reviews. We look at it. If you leave your Instagram, we send you a video DM. Okay, here we go.
So I went on a date on Friday. I'm swiping on Hinge, just kind of seeing what's out there, who's out there. I matched with this guy. Everything's going really well. I mean, I'm giggling, I'm laughing, he's being funny, I'm being hilarious. So he proposes that we should meet at a bar. Ooh. And if it goes well, we should spend Saturday during the snowstorm together. I'm like, ooh, this sounds good. We meet at the bar. and it's a little bit awkward. So I'm like, this is weird, because like over conversation, over text, over Hinge, like we were flowing, and then in person it was like kind of odd. He's like kind of touching me on my leg a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore that, but I like definitely move my body a little bit farther away from him, and he's kind of taking up a lot of space, which is something that I don't really like. And he's like really close to me now. He's like getting closer. So I just tell him, I straight up tell him, can you back, just give me some of my space? He's like, oh, do you not like PDA? I'm like, no, I don't really like PDA. And then I'm like, actually, I do like PDA, but with you, I'm not really feeling the chemistry. And then he's quiet. I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, you kind of just rejected me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm just gonna go. Come home. I just get these like texts from him. He goes, you could have just told me after the first place that you were not into me, then waste my time. Anyways, good luck to you. I Venmo requested $20 for the food. Like I was nothing but nice to you. You think because I'm a nice guy I can't fuck you good and rough or gentle anyway, like it because I was nice? You're shallow, good luck hooking up and having meaningless empty sex.
Oh man.
Like damn.
Holy shit.
Wow.
She sent that to us, and in her like little response, she's like, hey, I wanted to send this to you because I want to let you know this is what it's like being a woman on dates sometimes.
Yeah.
And what the fuck? This is what happens, I think. Like, remember a couple episodes ago when I talked about how men in this age, because they feel as if they deserve some sort of love from women because of, you know, all the stuff that's out there in the world and also their ego.
Yeah.
When they get rejected,
yeah,
they're like, oh my God, this woman was supposed to fucking love me.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Listen, Caitlyn here was honest, transparent, was like, hey, I'm not attracted to you. Sorry, I don't have any chemistry with you. And she left. And this guy blows up on her.
Yeah, it's just like, why didn't he just... I understand his feelings being hurt. Sure.
Yes.
I get that. But it's like, dude, you're never going to talk to this girl again. You know, like, you're never going to... She didn't do anything, like, immorally wrong. Like...
It's a first date, too.
It's a first date. Like, yeah, sure. Could Caitlyn have said after the first bar, not into it, I'm going to go? Sure. But I think, like, credit to her for being like, let me just give this guy just a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I don't like this guy.
And then he kind of was pressury.
Yeah.
And was like, you know, if I were in that situation, I wouldn't be. I think I would be able to read a woman better, but I would probably take a hint and just be like, this isn't working. Well, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't double down. And it's like, if you're going to double down, then she has every right to say shit to you.
Exactly.
You know, and to say what's going on. Otherwise, that would be insane. If you double down and she's like, I'm going to go. That's kind of mean.
Right, but she was like, hey, you're taking up so much space right now. I am not into PDA.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to kiss you, basically.
She's just like, I don't know you yet. Like, no, I'm not into PDA with people I don't know.
And then the thing that confuses me is, like, why send that text? Like, what are you expecting out of that? Like, are you expecting to be like...
she's going to call you up and be like, oh, get over here, hot stuff.
She's like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Like, oh, my God, fine, I will suck your dick. You know, like, I don't think she's going to do that,
She's not going to do that.
Like, what the hell?
It's so weird.
That is so weird. I mean, she basically said everything, but I just wanted to like make it very clear that this is what women go through sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't think all men are like this. Just the way I don't like painting a broad brush, but like, yeah, this is I'm sure what a lot of what a woman's experience is with dating men. I think. How old did Caitlyn say? How old she is? I mean, she doesn't even tell us, but I think the older
she's like in her 20s. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay, listen. I will say this. Yeah, they're not all men are like this. Obviously,
yeah. Obviously,
what fucking sucks is that he defined himself as a nice guy.
Yeah,
and then he proceeds to say, well, I can't you good, good luck with you.
Yeah, he's immediately not a nice guy once he starts sending that text.
It's like, okay, anybody that defines himself as a nice guy usually is not a nice guy.
Yeah, someone who's, I think if you're defending yourself like, I'm a nice guy, that doesn't mean I could you good. It's like, dude, definition of a manipulative guy. That's what you are. You're manipulative.
Still don't know what he's trying to get out of that.
That's so weird, man. It's so fucking cringe. I'm like, God, can't you tell when a woman's not into, like, the first, I get you as a man being like, okay, let me just see where this is going.
Yeah.
Just gonna do a hand on the knee.
Hand on the knee.
Let's see. I did that with my wife. Put a hand on my knee. She didn't stop me.
And then she took her hand and then put it somewhere else?
No. She just
left it there. Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, we have chemistry. And I was feeling like there was chemistry,
right. Maybe even like a pound fist. I sometimes do that just to see where that goes. Yeah.
But as soon as the first time she moves away, she doesn't like it. Dude, you're off. You're off her, and you let her now make the move. If you can come back into this game, she makes the move now. You need to just be a conversationalist.
I totally agree.
Be flirty, be interesting, listen. That's the other thing is...
And she said that he was mostly talking. So.
Yeah, I like what she said about taking up space. Yeah, it's just like you did the hand thing on her knee, and she didn't like it. So why are you going in with your mouth?
Yeah.
You fucking dummy.
Like, I'm okay with everything that happened in regards to him being shocked. Obviously, I would be shocked. I wouldn't say anything. I think...
But he set himself up for that.
Well, not only that, but I'm saying, like, what happened further. I think what the shocking part to me isn't what happened previously.
No. It's the
shocking part is the end with the text message.
Yeah, it's like, that. I think what I would have liked to seen that guy do is just take it and say, because that's why that guy's not ready to be in a relationship. Because how a person who's ready to be in a relationship hears that and says, okay, it was nice hanging out with you. We're not right for each other. That's cool. I'm right for someone.
We are not right for each other.
And that's good. And then they never talk again. That's a person who's ready to be in a relationship. This guy is never going to be in a relationship because he needs a woman or a partner to make him feel a type of way.
Oh my God, that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's needy. And the validation of he doesn't love himself, because if he loved himself, he would be confident enough to be like, I can handle this. Oh my God, that's what it is. It is because he's seeking validation from another individual to lift him up, and he thinks he deserves that because he paid for some sort of dinner or date. Yeah. And now that he doesn't have it, that's what it is.
You have to really be careful.
He just doesn't love himself. He's not confident enough with himself.
Doesn't paying for dinner, it has way more of a meaning now than it ever has in the past?
Yeah, that's why my first dates are always like, hey, let's go to a Starbucks.
Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a
walk.
Mainly because I'm broke, but...
Yeah. Or let's play tennis. That's my big thing.
I love that. I think that's really smart because it really does have this sort of underlying meaning. In the past, it meant one thing, unfortunately, and men were in the past in the power dynamic.
But right now, it's like, I want to play tennis, and then I'm like, yo, I'm going to bring some sandwiches, you bring the chips.
Yeah. Love that.
That's like a cool little
Love that.
setup.
My first day with my wife, we ran errands together.
Oh my God, that's so attractive.
Yeah, we literally ran errands
It's
together.
like, yo, I'm going to get some groceries.
She needed a bag from Marshall's. I needed a picture frame. And I was like, well, let's go do that. And then we could go grab a beer afterwards.
Yeah, so that's key. It's not... I think people are putting a lot of pressure, and they think that, what's a really good date? And they always think it has to be extravagant. We have to go to an escape room. We have to go to a fancy restaurant, and then from there everything.
You just want to meet up and know that you can hang out with someone.
Yeah, you want to chit chat, and then hey, listen.
It's very easy to hang out with bad people in a bar. I've hung out with plenty of bad people in a bar.
And then what's great about the errands thing, bad people in the bar, is you're stuck there until the check comes. But if it's a bad time, like playing tennis or whatever, you can be like, okay, peace deuces, I got an errand to run.
Yeah. And what's funny about running errands as a date? First off, how annoying is it to wait in line at a Marshall's by yourself? Now you got some terrible guy with you. You can get the out of here. I'd rather wait in this line by myself. That's how you know.
Yeah.
If you can wait in line for someone at a Marshall's, that's someone worth keeping.
That's a really good date. I like that.
You know what I mean?
If
the line doesn't feel like a line at all because you're talking, you're having a great time.
Yeah,
that's a good sign,
dude.
But how easy?
Maybe my next date I'll do that. I'm like, hey, you want to go to Costco?
Let's go.
And then I'll be like, do you have a Costco card?
Yeah. I need to pick up some things too. Yeah, yo, you mind if I use that card?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
I think we're on to something here. I feel like meeting someone for drinks is a really bad date. It's such a bad date because one, you're gonna have a power dynamic with paying for things,
Right.
And that's, I don't think in
It's
a
always,
date you don't
it's
want
like always awkward. Like, do you pay?
Yeah,
Do
or if we split, I'm not
pay?
in.
Yeah.
Because it could go either way. Sometimes you split it and it means she likes you or he likes you, but sometimes you split it because of the opposite. But if someone pays, then it's like, oh, now I'm supposed to that person, or now I owe them something.
It's just really fucking confusing.
And also, like, I really believe, like, you can. I'm watching this show Pam and Tommy, which I don't really like. It's on Hulu. It's about Pamela Anderson and
Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Yeah, and Seth Rogen's in it. It's fine. It's a fine show, but I'm noticing, like, they meet when Pam and Tommy meet, hammered every night, partying, and then he's like high and is like, oh, you're the love of my life, I want to be with you. And I just got to the scene where, like, they get married in Cancun, like she's going on vacation with her friends, and he, like, meets her the day before he leaves, and he's like, I'm coming with you, I'm bringing my boys, I need to be with you, you're Pamela Anderson, you know. And they meet, and he shows up uninvited. She's like, I don't want you to come, and he's like, I'm coming, you know. It's like really inappropriate,
right? And
she comes, and they party together and take drugs and have sex, and then, like, within 3 days they're married, and then they're on the flight on the way back to LA, and they don't know each other at all.
These are now
They're like,
sober.
what movie do you like? You know, I'm pulling this right from the episode. And it's the same thing. It's like, it's so easy to mistakenly think that you have a connection with someone when you're drunk with them, or you're at a bar where it's like,
let's do some lines of coke and get to know each other.
Or let's just talk shit about everyone at the bar. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you have a connection.
I'm telling you, like, when you go, so I have something called the exposure effect, where I believe that you have to go to, like, 3 different locations on a date for it to, like, you get to really know somebody.
I love that.
And so, and then you can always, like, you leave at the first time. So it's like, if I play tennis and then we eat and then I like this person, then we'll eat the sandwiches that I bring with the chips. And then from there, if that goes well, then it's like, oh, what are you doing later tonight?
Yeah.
And then that's like maybe the sandwiches or whatever, but because like the dinner or the drinks, but now that you discuss through that, like, dynamic, now you can say, hey, I'll take care of, like, dinner, you take care of desserts.
Right.
Because it's like, hey, I'm bringing the sandwiches, you bring the chips.
Yeah.
I'm running the errand, I'm going to Marshall's, and then we're going to Lowe's. It's like, you're always making sure that right then and there, right away, it's like, I'm going to do something and you're going to do something.
Well, it's like,
you know what I mean? It's like a 50-50 type of thing.
To bring two people.
Does that make sense?
No, I love it.
Okay.
To bring 2 people together to share your life with someone, at first, you just you think of it like a fucking grave.
Yeah.
You know, you like, this is such a hole, sorry, without a body in it. Just a hole.
You're trying to get into these holes.
Yeah, you fit, no.
That's a...
No, I keep doing innuendos.
Okay, go on.
No, but you don't, okay, this is a bad example. I'm just saying, like, you have to, my point is, you have to do a little bit at a time. You bring a little bit of yourself, they bring a little bit of yourself. You bring a little bit of yourself, they bring a little bit of yourself.
Exactly.
Until you've come to a slow progression of mutual understanding and joining your lives together. It's not right away. I feel like drinks try to make it so instant.
You're trying to make it super fast. Like, go in, drink, make out.
Yeah, you're like trying to run. Yeah, you're trying to run before you can walk.
Believe it or not, I've gotten more one-night stands from doing non-restaurant events, and rather, like, you want to go for a walk.
Right. Well,
and then she's like, oh, here's my apartment. We just walked here. Let's go.
Because sex is all about trust. Trusting that this is a good person, trusting that they're not going to take advantage of me, trusting that they're safe, that they don't have STDs,
exactly.
whatever, that they're responsible. You can't... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You can't really... It's hard to do that unless you take this exposure approach.
Right.
It's hard to feel those things. And why... if you feel those things after doing this exposure approach, you've gone to 3 locations on a date. If you feel like you're into this person, you trust them, who cares what date it is? Them if you want to.
Exactly.
You know, enjoy it.
And I didn't even spend a single dollar.
Wear a condom. You know, it's just too much before what it's supposed to be. Like,
and also
you got to slowly get into it.
I like the exposure effect too. You got to slowly get into it because you're able to do that, just like what you said.
Yeah.
But sometimes it could be like different locations at an event. So for example, at a wedding that I was once, met this girl. We were at the dance floor. Then from the dance floor, we went outside. Then after we went outside, we went to get some pizza nearby, like a nearby shop. So it's like, it doesn't have to be, again, super extravagant. And you can go to like these locations in like 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you get to know the person really well. And actually, the sex is better because there's like a lot more intimacy there because you kind of built trust through those different exposed locations.
Yeah, because how do you know if through those exposed locations, maybe you might have a conversation about sex.
Yeah. Well,
you might learn what they like.
I do all the time.
You know what I mean? You might learn what they like, and then if it does progress to sex, consensual sex, may I add?
That is the best type of sex to have.
Yeah, of course.
The only type of sex you should have.
But if it does progress to that, then you'll know, oh, because we talked about this, I know that you cannot be stimulated from penile intercourse.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But with my nose, we got it going on.
Or just like, but if you just try to go into it, or, you know, you won't know those things.
Speaking of
Did
weddings.
you go to a wedding?
Yeah, I want to talk about this wedding, which
tell
is
me
really
about it.
exciting.
I love weddings.
Yeah, so this is a new one. This is exciting.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I want to tell this story is because I have yet to see my family, my like really close uncles and aunts for the last 2 years because of this goddamn pandemic. Right. Noah, when I tell you that I'm excited, it's Saturday, I'm sweating, my armpits are going on, I'm texting my uncle, I'm going to see you today, all capital letters. Yeah. I'm so excited. The party starts at 1:30 p.m. And when I mean the party, it's Filipino, so therefore people do the prayer. So it's like all Catholic, like hallelujah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I haven't seen my family. I'm going to arrive early.
Yeah.
But what's my ethnicity, Noah?
Filipino.
And so Filipinos have this stereotype that we're always late. I don't know why
is
it
that
is.
A stereotype?
That is a stereotype. Okay. I don't know what it is. So it's in Temecula. It's in San Diego. Yeah. It's like the wine country. And I think to myself, I'm going to be fine. I leave at 11, Noah. I'm running late. So I call my uncle and aunts.
You should have left earlier.
I should have left earlier. It's an hour and a half, but like... So it's like already 1:15. I'm like going to be 30 minutes late. I call my uncle and he's like, yo.
Yeah.
Did you plan on like walking in with a entrance? This is not your day, Jonathan. I'm like, I know, Uncle Joe. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
So this was my plan. I'm wearing khaki pants. I'm wearing a polo shirt. And I'm wearing comfortable shoes. And my plan was I was going to arrive at the parking lot, park in the corner, open up my trunk, take out my suit, change in the parking lot, and then join the wedding party.
And just kind of slide in. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I arrive. I park the car. I open my trunk. I open my suit. No shirt whatsoever.
Did you rent this suit?
No, this is my suit.
You forgot to.
I forgot it.
Damn, dude.
I'm an idiot.
You got to be more prepared.
I know I do. I know. And it's a cocktail party.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, shit, what do I do? So I put all my things. I put everything back in the car. I drive to the nearest Target. I'm looking around. I get to the Target. I'm going through everything. I'm like, oh, my God. And they're not going to have cocktail white shirts.
No.
I look at the customer service rep, and I go, hey, do you have any suits? He's like, this is a Target, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
This is a Target.
This is a Target.
No, we cannot find your ball attire.
No, your ball attire. There's no way. So I go outside. I go on Google, and I type, suits near me.
Yeah.
8 miles away. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I call the number. The store is
Celino and Barnes?
No, it's called
Lawsuits?
Class Act Tuxedo.
Okay.
And this woman answers. She's like, hello, this is
Wait,
Shay.
Class Act. You think is that a play on class action lawsuit?
Maybe. So because everyone looks like a lawyer when they go in.
I guess.
So they come out, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I'm ready to practice law.
Okay, so you go to Class Act.
Well, no, I give her a call.
Oh, you call her.
She's like, hey, this is Shay. I'm like, hi, Shay. This is Jonathan. This is the situation that I'm in. She's like, oh, God, what's going on? And she's like the angel. She's like a miracle from God. Like, God came down from heaven, and she was like, what's going on? I said, there's a wedding at 1:30. I know it's 2 p.m. right now. Yeah. I am late. I don't have a shirt. Do you sell shirts? And she's like, how tall are you? What's your size? I'm like, I'm 5'7". I probably get a small. She's like, we usually take appointments. I'm like, you don't understand. My life is on the line. I need you. And she goes, okay, come on in. So
you don't understand. I fucked up and I'm irresponsible.
Yeah, that's basically what I did.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I walk in, and she's like dealing with a lot of customers, but I guess because I look disheveled, she goes, oh my God, are you the guy that called? You're probably the guy that called. I'm like, yes, ma'am, yes. She's like, I'm Shay. That's my husband, Sal. Sal, get over here.
Hey, Sal, get over here.
Sal walks in. He's like this Italian, skinny, short dude with nice glasses, a nice head of hair, and he's like, we got you. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
So
Sally boy.
I take off my shoes. I start changing. He's like, what are you
doing?
doing?
I saw this on Instagram.
Oh, you did?
Well, I just saw you posted something you were trying on.
I was changing in front of him. And they hooked me up with a nice shirt, with a nice tie, with a nice jacket.
Really?
And they charged me only $200.
Wow.
So I got a whole new brand, socks, everything, and they gave me
You rented it or bought it?
I bought it.
Wow.
They are so fantastic. And the reason why I wanted to say this on the podcast, because here's their address.
Yeah,
Class
everyone
Act
go there.
Tuxedo. They're fucking phenomenal.
And maybe that's why they call themselves Class Act.
Because they're class acts.
When you come to Class Act, we are Class Act too.
Was this a 1970s commercial that I don't know about?
Get your suits at classacttuxedo.com.
They don't even have a Instagram. I was so pissed.
Oh, man.
So, but Shay and Sal, if you're listening, thank you for taking care of me.
Did you tell them about our podcast?
I was just being loud.
Yeah.
I was like screaming. I was taking off my pants, taking off my shoes. She looked at me at one point. She's like, are you really changing here? And where are your shoes? Because I took off my shoes too to put on I'm like, and then I looked around and there's about like 7 customers there and they're looking at me. I'm like, don't worry. I'm not embarrassed. And Shay looks at me and she's like, well, I'm embarrassed for you, hon.
Well, you're embarrassing me.
Yeah.
Get in a fitting room.
And so I was able to enjoy the wedding.
Wow.
And what's beautiful is that Shay actually messaged me.
What'd she say?
She said, hey, John, it was nice meeting you. You left your tennis shoes here.
Oh, no.
And
So you had to go back?
No. And I responded, because I'm already here in LA. So I responded, I've had these tennis shoes since 2017. New year, new me. I guess I'm supposed to let them go so you can have them. And she's like, well, I'm not going to have them, but can I donate them? And
she's like, I don't want your tennis shoes, bro. Well, you think I want your stinky ass 4-year-old tennis shoes?
So you
freak.
Oh man. So
I love you being like, hey, those are yours.
Those are yours.
She's just standing there like,
I don't want them, but they're such a beautiful couple. So yeah, the wedding was great. What a
Did you drink?
fun night. For the first time, this is the first time I've drunk hard alcohol in 2 years.
What'd you drink?
I don't know, Mai Tais.
Mai Tais. How many did you have?
Like a lot.
So I'm not judging. I'm excited.
I feel like a white girl now. Well, I had 4 shots of tequila with all my family friends, and then I probably had 1 glass of champagne.
Were you hungover the next day?
1 glass, 2 glasses of red wine, and around like 5 glasses of Mai Tais.
I always do that. Whenever I drink a lot, I love tallying up my drink count at the end of the day. And the next morning, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't say that. And then Jerry came over.
I don't know what that does, but like I felt good about myself. No, I did not have a hangover.
Oh, good for you.
You have vitamin C before you drink.
Mm-hmm.
Avocado as well before I drink, and then like in the morning right before I just
a whole avocado.
But here's the secret about like not like
wait, a whole avocado.
It's a healthy fat.
I love you going for dinner like before a night of drinking, and you're just like, I'll just have a pint of vitamin C and an entire avocado.
That's exactly what I did.
And they're like, yes, sir, we don't serve that here. Do you get that at places?
No, you eat it before
you go to the grocery store.
No, you go to the grocery store and you eat that before. But I will say this: here's the crew, if you're listening. So we've made very, very clear announcement that like 1, be anti-vax because needles suck. Number 2,
I don't support that.
Push. We're trying to get people addicted to heroin.
Yes.
And number
yes.
And number 3.
Yes.
The secret about not getting a hangover is you just got to keep drinking. You just got to keep drinking. That's what my whole thought process was. You know what?
Are you still drunk?
That's why I'm not hungover.
I'm not hungover.
There's a lot of like hate crimes with Jewish individuals right now, and I want to hear your take. What's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, but and that's always been the case, and that's that's true of every
ethnicity,
and everyone's, there's just a lot of fucking xenophobic bad people in the world, and that's just the way it is. And nothing's changed, but a president was in the White House who kind of told everyone that they could come out of the dark if you believe those bad things.
Ronald Reagan.
And that's right, Ronald Reagan. George Washington. Actually.
George Washington.
Yeah. The very first one.
Yeah, very first.
But honestly, the first 15 owned slaves, so it's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, so this Whoopi Goldberg thing. So in a conversation, there's this book called Mouse, which I've been reading. It's a graphic novel.
I love that book.
Yeah, it's really cool. I just started reading it. And you could look up what Mouse is about, but it's basically a father that's a mouse telling his older son, that's also a mouse, about his experience in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of replacing mouse for humans to just make it a little bit more palatable, palatable, I would say.
Yeah.
Make it feel a little less real, but still all the facts are the same. Anyways, this book is getting banned in certain states. I think Tennessee is one of them. And they had a conversation on The View.
Wait, why is it being banned again? Like, what do they want?
Because they're saying that this is inappropriate for children to learn, and I disagree. If we start taking away, this is like people saying that anti-racism shouldn't be shouldn't be taught in schools.
Yeah.
Oh, why? Because it makes you uncomfortable. If we start to throw away books and make it illegal to read and learn about things that make you uncomfortable, that's a slippery slope.
That is a very slippery
slope. You hear people
slope.
talk about slippery slopes. That's very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it makes you, the fact that we have a racist past as a country, we can't learn about that because that makes you uncomfortable.
We should learn about the past.
We should learn about the past. Yes, it makes you uncomfortable, but you're going to learn, and then you're going to be comfortable because you won't have to deal with this.
Exactly.
But so yeah, they were banning this book, and Whoopi was, from my understanding, she was defending the book. She doesn't believe that the book should be banned. And in her point, she said something. She was like, I think from what I understood is her reasoning why she felt the book shouldn't be banned was because the Holocaust is just, I think she was trying to say that, racism happens with the color of your skin. The Holocaust was just man being mean to man. That it wasn't about racism. It was about man being mean to man.
Okay.
So everyone should learn about it because we're all humans, and that could happen to anybody. So that was her point. Episode of The View ended. There was all this backlash that the Holocaust was about race because Hitler and the Nazis wanted to make the Jews and believed the Jews were an inferior race. They made it a race thing. And yes, from 60 years later, looking at it, you're like, well, this isn't about race because Jews are mostly white. They're definitely white passing, and the Nazis were white and Aryan. So you're looking at it, and you're like, well, this isn't about race. Yes, as it is today, it wouldn't look like about race because now race, the idea of race evolves over time.
Right.
And yes, right now we would look at race as black, white, brown, white. That's what race. That's race right now. But because the Nazis believed that the Jews were an inferior race and killed them and gays and people with disabilities and gypsies and all those things and black people and whoever was in their path that was different than them, they made it about race. So that's the backlash.
And also, I mean, it is about race due to the fact that he wanted a pure Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah, maybe. So even if you don't believe that that the Jewish side or Jews are a race or an ethnicity, they, like you're saying, were trying to create a pure race.
Right.
So
it is about race.
It is about race for them, So, okay, so that's the backlash. Whoopi hears that. The next day, I watched this with my sister-in-law. She likes The View, so I was watching with her. Whoopi comes on
The View.
The View. Opening segment. Apologizes.
Oh, she does?
Earnestly. And this is Whoopi Goldberg. Like, she is always been known to say how she feels, what's on her mind. And yeah, so it's like So she apologizes. She has a Jewish, I forget the guy's name. His last name's Goldstein, and he's from the Jewish Federation League or something who, fights for Jewish rights and stuff like that.
Right.
And she has him on, and he explains to her why she was wrong. They have a very open dialogue. She apologizes. She expresses. She misspoke. She understands now. And, I'm sitting there watching and being like, okay, I'm done with this. She apologized.
It seems that she's genuine about it.
She's genuine about it. It's like she misspoke. And it's like, why should I give, you look at the numbers, how little people know about the Holocaust. How Jews are only 0.2% of the entire world's population. Why am I supposed to believe that everyone should have a deep understanding of the Holocaust the way I do? And plenty of people may not have an understanding of the Holocaust, but do know Jews or do feel that everyone deserves equal rights. There's many people like that. So why am I going to punish someone for just maybe not being as well read or understanding something the way I understand? Instead, we should reward people for not reward them for making mistakes, but let them make a mistake and then forgive them when they learn and apologize and are going to try to do better.
And also what's amazing about that too is, one, her first initial thing was, I think that mouse should not be banned.
Yeah, that's her whole point, was she doesn't think that this book about the Holocaust should be banned.
So
everyone's missing the point.
Yeah. So what they're all focused on is the
semantics.
The semantics of it.
The way she may have phrased something. And I do understand what her argument was. It's just like, you have to be very careful when you're talking about those things because people are obviously sensitive because they have a lot of emotions and identity tied up in it.
So when she apologized and what's happening with her now? So
she apologized, and then shortly, hours later, ABC comes out and says they're suspending her because of her comments for 2 weeks. This is after she apologized. And that guy Goldstein goes on CNN. I watched him on CNN a couple hours later, and he was like, I forgave her. I liked what she had to say. Basically, that's what he says. You can look it up. He was like, I thought she, understood, and we had a mutual understanding, and she really apologized and said she was wrong. And it's like, you can't, Whoopi Goldberg's not anti-Semitic. She just misspoke. So she's being suspended. Sorry, you go.
No. I just think, I think for a company to suspend her, I think that's kind of like the right thing to do, though.
You think so?
Because
it just feels performative for me.
That's exactly that's why, because companies don't really care what side you are on.
Yeah.
I think they care more about their bottom line. If they can stack that cash, if they can put bags in their closet, And I think by suspending her for 2 weeks, they can go to the people on the right who are waiting for Whoopi to make this big ass mistake, to get mad at ABC if there's no sort of consequence.
They can't get mad at him.
Because they're like, oh my God, you always cancel this person and this person. You always cancel our guy. You should cancel Whoopi.
Yeah. And so it really,
they're just looking for the bottom line.
Her punishment's bull. You're right. It is performative, and that's probably the idea. So they could just at least kind of wash their hands clean of it in some way, but also like, don't fire Whoopi Goldberg from the show for saying the wrong thing. She's not a journalist. She's a comedian.
Do you think she's going to get fired?
No, I think that would be a huge mistake if she got fired. I think that would lead to worse repercussions.
I mean, what's really good is the fact that she
owned it.
She
and apologized. And to me, if we're talking about punishments, you're right. If I was a CEO and I saw this happening, I'd probably do the same, to be like, look, we're just going to slap you on the wrist because I got these guys yelling at me. I got these guys yelling at me. Let's just let the news cycle die.
And also, I'm not saying that she wasn't misspeaking, but let's say it was intentional because we don't know Whoopi. Then at least this suspension allows her to rethink for a second what she might say incorrectly or correctly through time.
Yes, but this is where I disagree, and I love that we're able to agree and disagree on this podcast. If we're going for that, then there's no better punishment than putting her on air, meeting with this guy, Mr. Goldstein, having to apologize and eat it on the show. Learn about it on the show. You want to say those things on the show? Learn about it on the show. Let's watch. Let's let your viewers know that you are dealing with it on the show. Do you think do I believe? I don't think Whoopi needs to do this because I do believe she's apologized, she's learned, and I don't need her to understand everything about the Holocaust. I just need her to understand that it exists, that Jewish people have rights. That's it.
And that what she said, why it was problematic.
Why it was problematic. That's it. I don't need her to be a fucking PhD on Holocaust studies.
I mean, that's fair. I just think, again, I think as ABC, a corporation, bottom line, and then also it's kind of like by providing that break for 2 weeks, when she finally comes back, the effects of this backlash is kind of dissuaded.
I guess what I'm saying is,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But to your point, like, do I think Whoopi Goldberg's taking these next 2 weeks to like learn about what she did? That I don't buy.
We don't know.
I just don't buy it.
Probably not.
You think she has 2 weeks off? She works like the lady works basically every week. She has 2 weeks off. She's going to learn about Holocaust studies?
This is a vacation.
I'll give her, maybe she's reflecting and saying, just, wow, I shouldn't have said that, I misspoke. But she's not really trying to like, she's not really investing in, you know, Jewish culture or any of that.
Okay.
You know?
That makes sense.
I'm passionate, I'm sorry.
No. I mean, you're Jewish,
Yeah,
so this is a big thing.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
But I posted about this on my Instagram, and I had a lot of Jews like giving me shit for it, saying like I didn't have Jews' backs, you know, and it's like, well, I do. I just am like, this is the point. In Florida, you've had like many hate crimes against Jews
Recently, yes.
Yeah, and Jews in the past year, correct me if I'm wrong, crew, call me out, have been the number one hate crime against group in America.
Really?
Like, it's like through the roof. Anti-Semitic.
I mean, Asian stuff has increased like hell.
It's all bad. It's all bad. I don't mean to... And I'm not trying to be like, oh, my suffering's worse than your suffering. Surely Jews are not...
There's no gold medal for
There's
this.
no gold medal, but I also would like to say I do not think the Jewish suffering is as bad as what Asian people, Mexican people, and black people have to go through. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so...
The crew knows.
The crew knows. I'm just saying. In case anyone tries to clip this up... No, I'm kidding.
We're anti-vax.
No.
We are
only because of the needles. So okay, we're spending all these people that are all the Jews that are free, you know, that are getting mad about this, because I would say mostly Jews are the ones getting mad about this.
Yeah,
we're spending this time looking at Whoopi Goldberg, trying to punish her, but not the actual white supremacists. You know,
that's
committing
true.
Real crimes.
In Florida, there was a guy.
In Florida, was a guy with a Star David bumper sticker, and they pulled him out of the car and beat the shit out of him. But we're like, Whoopi Goldberg, She said that the Holocaust was about humans being mean to humans, which is not wrong. You know, it's just not exactly what it is.
Okay, I get it. She wasn't being like extremely specific. She was like leaving a point, and then she was then the Jewish guy Goldstein
she
came
said
and she's like,
it wasn't about race.
And
it was about humans being mean to humans.
And this guy goes, "Hey, it is actually about race."
Yeah.
Wow. So the context is very important. The very specifics, the details are very important. I just see all I saw on Twitter was like,
if all she had said is it's humans being mean to humans, this doesn't happen. But because she said it wasn't about race,
this happens.
This happens because we know Hitler wanted the Jews. They felt the Jews were an inferior race.
Well, on the surface level, not knowing about the apology, not knowing exactly everything, like I didn't even know that she promoted Mouse. Then I want to fucking cancel her. But like knowing the actual, that's why it's so scary.
That's why like knowing culture.
Yeah,
so many people. I really was having these conversations with so many people, and you could just tell. Oh, I'm luckily by chance. I'm so in tune to this story.
Yeah, because you love The View.
I don't love The View. I just happened to like watch. I was with my sister-in-law. She watched.
No, you watch The View all.
Yeah,
okay.
I love The View.
Yeah, The View is great. It's okay. It's okay. You can admit it. It's okay.
No, I never watched The View. What's it on at like 4 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday?
Go. So
what's it on ABC? What do I love? Joy Behar? No.
That's why like we try to do the podcast at 4 p.m. You're like, no, I'm busy.
Yeah,
now
I'm busy.
Now I know why.
With what?
You're busy.
I have some game tape to watch.
Well, you have game tape and therapy every single day. No, the game tape and the therapy
is The View.
We will talk about this here.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want to talk about my grandparents' story, which is kind of cool because I know people want to learn more about that.
So I listened to this episode of The Daily last week.
Michael Bublé.
I'm Michael Barbara.
Oh, Barbara. Wait, Barbara?
Yeah, Michael Bublé is a singer.
Yes, I don't even know what's wrong with me.
I listen. Outside is weather.
Do you think that guy gets laid? Yes, he does. Anyway,
I'm sure.
Michael Barbara.
I'm Michael Barbara.
I'm Michael Barbara. Is The Daily. Downtown. Whatever.
On that last week there was an episode about the food supply and how right now in like the beef market specifically, prices have never been higher. People want beef.
I love beef.
But the ranchers are barely breaking even. The people who raise cattle to sell, they're barely breaking even. If they're most of the time they're losing money, and they're not. And as the price of beef is going up, you would think that they would be making more money.
Yeah.
But that's because what's happening is there's this middleman who are called the packagers. Mm-hmm. And there are 4 packagers in the country that basically have a share of 85% of the market.
Monopoly.
Yeah, it's very similar to what happened with the Carnegies and the Rockefellers back in the 30s, and why Roosevelt created the New Deal to disband, antitrust law. That's when it all came out. And
they're like, if you want to package your beef here, it's going to cost you this much.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't want to go here. It's like, well, tough luck, because 85% of the places that you want to go is ours.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
So fuck you, and you have to take what we give you.
These greedy bastards.
Yeah,
bro.
and there's a lot of consolidation going on. So again, there's less competition. Biden talked about this. There's less competition, and capitalism is nothing if there's no competition. You know what I mean? It's extortion.
That's why it makes sense. So there's this like French sausage that I really like called saucisson.
Yeah,
and it's in Trader Joe's, and they've been out like all the time.
Yeah,
and
that's why you're having all these shortages.
And then when I arrived to get it like yesterday, it was finally there after 2 weeks, and the price went from $5.99 to like $7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? But I still bought it because it's delicious.
At one point they were like, well, the middleman. Let's go to the grocery store. Let's go directly to the buyers.
Yeah, they should do that.
And they did it. So listen, they do it. In the 90s, this family tried to do that. They go to the grocery store and they say, we have this great beef. We slaughtered ourselves. We didn't need to go to a slaughterhouse. We want to sell it directly. And they're like, we love this. Let's do a day of it. We'll do, the family, this rancher, they're the charters.
The charters.
So we'll do like a charter meat day.
Right.
So they literally they set up the parking lot one day and they just do this big meat buying day and they make a killing. And then like a mafioso muscle, one of the packagers comes by this grocery store, one of the suppliers says, if you do that again, we're not going to sell you the other shit we sell you.
Oh, shit, that's so smart.
Of who? The
middleman, yeah.
Yeah, the middleman.
They're geniuses.
They're
come
genius
in,
at corruption.
Hey, listen, I know that you're making a good profit and helping out these farmers that are doing beef, but if you want my chicken, if you want all these other things...
Yeah, if you want my pops...
Then you got to quit them out.
You got to cut them out. And they
have
to sell to us.
That's pure capitalism.
No, that's not capitalism. It's extortion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, in America...
Yeah, that is capitalism.
So, yeah. Good on the middleman right
there. It is funny how in America capitalism is just extortion.
That's exactly
what it is. Yeah, that's our capitalistic way. But no.
So, letting you know that I'm anti-vax.
Yeah.
I'm pro-extortion.
No.
And I'm all about get hooked on heroin. See, what I don't understand then is like, what do these middlemen get out of it?
They get money.
But then what ends up happening is they're fucking consumers.
Yeah.
Because consumers have to pay more. And then so there's going to be a beef shortage regardless now. And then your volume is going to go down.
Well, I think what's going to end up happening.
And then what about your people that have the shortage the people that supply the beef in general?
Yeah, I mean, they'll lose money or they won't be able to do anymore. But this is what I think's happening.
Yeah, they're going to be like, I don't want to do this.
I'm not an economist, but what my prediction would be is, like when Walmart comes to town, all those mom and pop shops, they're just like, well, we'll have, we'll buy them out and we'll just sell what they make. Because we can do it better, quicker, for cheaper, So they're basically going to push these ranchers out and fuck these packagers, they're going to be like, well, we'll just have our own cows. We'll do corporate cow.
Man, I feel bad for these ranchers, but hopefully the beef prices go down after that. But then I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, it's really, this is what they say in the podcast.
Tastes so good, man.
Yeah, this is what they say in the podcast. They say like, it just comes down to like, who do you want supplying your food? Do you want... and for me, I'm like, if I'm going to eat meat, I do want to make sure that at least the fucking cow gets a pretty decent life before we slaughter them.
Okay, here's the thing.
And it's humane.
Okay, I love you and all. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a consumer.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to go where the cheapest thing is. Like, as much as I love these causes, I can't go out and purchase
organic grass-fed beef.
The organic grass-fed beef.
I get it.
Or always help the local businessman.
I get it.
I mean, I will try, but there's only so much
I get it.
that I can do. And so then I think that the responsibility of the consumer has to go down. And I think what matters the most is who is going to regulate these corporations and these companies to make sure that this shit doesn't happen. Because it's like this. It again,
can't be on us.
It's like going to the consumer and saying, it's your job to make sure that you always recycle. And it's like, fuck you, corporations, why don't you make products that are easy to recycle?
Exactly. Dude, I'm with you 100%.
That's exactly what I mean. And
I'm so
we have
sick.
we have to stop putting the responsibility on the consumer. Period.
Because we're just trying to get by, man.
Like, imagine if we put the responsibility on the listener here.
Yeah, to host the episode.
To host the episode.
To produce it, to edit it.
To edit it.
No, their job is to fucking listen and have a good time.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's how I feel. I just want to buy some beef so I can cook some wasabi tacos.
It's like you guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
You make it right.
So someone needs to come in, an enforcer.
But that's where
the government regulate these goddamn corporations.
But that's where capitalism really fails because of the freedom that you have. If you're greedy, you're just going to take advantage of it.
And you're going to find ways to do it.
You're going to find ways to do it. If you're like, I need to make more money. And there's never a point where it's enough for you.
Let's just say this. There's a lot of things going on in the world.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. So a lot of the crew members, have been DMing me.
Yeah.
And a lot of the comments on TikTok and everywhere. So last episode, I talked about my grandparents and their love story about how they met on the first date.
Yeah.
It's sweet, but people were like, this should be a movie. And I'm like, no, it's just a regular date.
I could see it being a movie.
It's just a date.
I could totally
see. It just rains, it goes, and he's like okay, well, maybe because when I look at
I don't think that story is the movie. I think that story's a part of that movie.
Okay.
And their love story.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I do love them so much.
Yeah.
They asked about the ending. I'm not going to put this out, but I've already explained how when my grandparents were together for so many years, for 45 years, 46 years, sorry. And when my grandfather passed away, my grandmother said to my mother, like, hey, what else can I want? I've had a man that took care of me. I had a man that was always there for me. And he left me with just everything in a point where I don't have to worry about my life.
Right.
And when she, passed away, which was last year, there was this photograph of her. And when we turned it over, we realized that it was a birthday greeting to my grandfather. And the letter read, hey, Viol, what more can I say? I love you very much. To me, that's the ending.
Yeah.
Right? But this is something really cool because people want to see some photos and stuff. So here's some photos of them. Now, here's something really cool. So like I said, they've been married for like 46, 47 years.
Yeah.
And so at every single milestone of their relationship, like 10 years, 20 years, 25, whatever, they would have a renewal of vows. That means they would have a celebration like it was a wedding day. And she would walk down the aisle and they would do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the 45th anniversary, old as can be, he's in his 70s, etc. And I was like, not like there, obviously,
Yeah.
But I looked at the photos and oh my God, grandmother looked phenomenal. My grandfather, even though he's bald, was wearing a toupee with a great smile that he had.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're in front of the altar and they're renewing their vows. And what my grandfather does is he hands her a letter just for her. She takes it, she looks at it, and then she puts it away. So my grandfather then, that was for their 45th anniversary. So on their 45th anniversary, that was the milestone. So he passes in 98, and then my grandmother passes away last year. So we're going through all her things in these past couple of years. Last year and a half. Oh my God, it's only been a year. oh my God, our anniversary is February 11th. I'm about to cry. Never mind. But anyway, so we're going through all her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what we find?
The letter.
The letter.
What did it say?
Okay, so going through things, we find the letter. We open the letter, and this is what the letter reads. Hey, the name, Hey Vi. And it goes, long-lasting love is defined as patience, understanding, and heart. And through these many years that we've gone through, and it's been a lot, I must say that we are the definition of long-lasting love. I love you so much. Happy anniversary. My holy
what a thing to stumble upon.
Yeah.
He's probably like up in heaven, be like, dude, don't fucking read that. That wasn't for you, bro.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful.
Long-lasting love
I
is
think
defined by patience, understanding, and heart.
Yeah, and you know what the undertone is in that. When I hear that, you know what I really pull from that?
What?
Sometimes you're not gonna like each other. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you go cheat or you leave ship unless truly you hate each other and there's a true dysfunction.
Yeah,
that's another thing. But like sometimes the person you love in the most in the world you can't stand sometimes. You know? And that's okay. And it's just if you have patience, understanding, and heart, you'll get through all that shit.
Patience,
I love that. I'm taking that. I'm using that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just go to your wife. Hey, you're not being patient right now.
Yeah.
You're not having understanding.
We always
right
talk
now.
about that. Let's just be patient. Let's be understanding. Let's not lose our cool. But I love that. I don't even want to go further than that. I love ending on the grandparents.
I will say this though. I did lie. I did lie to the class act tuxedo people.
Oh no! What happened?
So I say y'all a lot.
Yeah. Because
right?
you don't like saying buddy. You don't like saying guys or dudes.
Right.
Yeah, because you're woke.
Yeah, I'm woke. So I'm like, y'all, thank you so much.
You're a woke guy who hates vaccines because of needles. Yeah.
And Shay, the woman, goes, wait, where are you from? I'm like, what do you mean? Are you from the South? Because you keep on saying y'all. And I guess because of the moment that I was in.
Oh, no.
I just looked at her. I'm like, I am.
Oh, my God.
She's like, where from? I'm like, well, I'm from Lowell, Indiana.
No,
man.
that's not the South. That's the Midwest, bro.
Right, that's what she said. I'm like, I know that's not the Midwest.
I know that's not the South.
That's not the South, but it's close. And she's like, yeah, that's right. That's close. Because I don't know. Because I've been to Lowell, Indiana. I thought it was it's so specific.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
and a weird
rural,
ass town,
sure,
right?
yeah.
I didn't say like Indianapolis, Indiana, or I didn't say I'm from Mississippi.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, ma'am. She's like, where from? I'm from Lowell, Indiana.
Indiana.
Shay, if you're listening, I do apologize. Oh, and also, she's like, what's your area code? I go 760. And she's like, wait a minute, that's California. And I'm like, oh no, this is so I'm smart, I guess. As she's writing the 760, I go, oh, it's because, I'm scared of being spammed. So like this is like my fake number. Oh, and I look around the other customers.
Now you're double lie.
I'm double lying. I'm looking at the other customers. I'm like, yeah. So like I'm from Lowell, Indiana, y'all. But like, are you gonna spam me? And I'm trying to like
some guy comes up to me, he's like, me too. Where are you from?
And then I'll be like, do you know a girl named Crystal Lee?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Oh my God, from I gotta go.
Yeah. You run out with a suit you didn't pay for it. Classic.
Yeah, so anyway.
Love
y'all. Where can they find you, Noah?
At Noah Built the Ark.
And find me at Jonathan Grant, the Bottle Club. Don't forget, 5 stars on Spotify. I see your stuff on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars. Leave your Instagram and we will video DM you.
Yep.
Love y'all. LUV. Peace.